the second episode of the Unfathomable podcast. I'm Daph.
I'm Zoe.
And I think we're just going to start off our podcast today by just going straight into our virginity stories.
Yeah.
That's a good place to start off this fresh into, I guess, this new adventure that we are doing.
Yep.
So how old were you when you lost your virginity?
I want to say either late 14, early 15.
Okay.
So my friend, who was my next door neighbour at the time, she was a year younger than me. We went to the same school, so we just ended up getting really close.
Mm-hmm.
She was talking to this guy who I knew from my older sister.
Okay.
And he had a mate over who I also knew from my older sister because they were like friends or like ex-best friends or like something along the lines of that.
Right, so you just kind of went into it as like a friendshipy sort of clicky sort of thing.
Yeah.
Right.
So she was talking to this guy and she was like, hey, like, you know, I'm sneaking out to this guy's house because obviously we were like too fucking young.
Yeah, clearly.
To be able to be like, hey, we're going to this guy's house. So we were like, oh, we'll just say like I'm staying at yours, you're staying at mine, we'll just go out for the night.
Yeah, I feel like if you're losing your virginity at 14, you're sneaking out.
Oh, hell yeah.
There's no other way about it.
And so we went to the guy's house and she was there to hook up with the guy she was talking to. So I got, you know, like palmed off to the friend.
Yeah.
And so, like, they were in the room doing their thing, laughing and everything. And, like, me and this guy that I barely knew were, like, just, you know, making awkward small talk. Like, oh, hey, how are ya?
Amazing.
Just, like, really awkward small talk.
But had you guys been talking, like, on social media?
No.
Okay.
Like, that was
makes
the
sense.
first time I ever, like, spoke to him. So it was just, like, really awkward. And I was like, shit, I'm here just so, like, she can lose her virginity. Like, she wants sex. I'm just here to, like, back her up and, like, keep the friend entertained, you know?
Yeah.
And we ended up going into this guy's older brother's room,
Mm-hmm.
who I also knew.
Okay.
And we were, like, watching a movie and we started hooking up and stuff. And he was like, oh, you know, suck my dick.
What movie was it?
And I honestly can't even tell you.
Must have been a good one.
No,
yeah.
it definitely wasn't. And I was like, yeah, okay. And it was the first time I've ever, like, done it or, like, you know, I haven't even watched, like, anyone suck a dick before, like, on porn or anything, obviously.
Okay.
I was 14 fucking years old. So I was like, okay, like, I'll give it my best try.
I love the optimism.
Oh, it was horrible. Like, I think about it to this day and I honestly get, like, secondhand embarrassment from something that happened, like, 8-9 years ago. Like, it was horrible.
Yeah.
And I feel like he was sort of like, okay, like, stop fucking doing that. Just come up here.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I'm just gonna, keep talking.
And, yeah, so I was like, yeah, okay, you know, like, whatever. We started making out and everything. And then he was like, oh, do you want to have sex? And I was like, you know, yeah, sure, like, whatever.
Okay.
Not making it like a massive deal. I was just like, you know, I sucked your dick, whatever, let's do it.
May as well.
Yeah.
At that point.
And, yeah, we had sex and it was very, like, awkward because it was my first time and he asked me to get on top.
Okay, that's a stitch up from the start.
And, yeah, and I obviously had no fucking idea what to do. And I was like, okay, I think this is how you do it. Like, doing some weird fucking movement. And I was like, yeah, this is definitely working. This is going good. And the whole time I was like, is this meant to, like, feel good? Because I can't, you know, like, it's not good at all.
Yeah, that's... Yeah,
and
awesome.
then, so we sort of finished. I don't know how he did, but he did somehow. And then...
You can confirm that he actually, like, came.
Yeah, no, he did.
Oh,
And I was just like, oh, this poor fuck. Like, I was horrible. And then we, like, walked out of the room and my friend and, like, the guy she was talking to was, like, sitting there in the lounge room and she was like, you know, let's go. And I was like, yeah, right, sweet, whatever. Because it was only, like, a 5-minute walk from our house to their house.
Okay.
So I was like, yeah, right, sweet. Like, let's just go back home, you know, break into your house through the window. So, you know, it looks like we just went from yours to mine.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, oh, I didn't even get anything. Like, you know, how did it go for you? And I was like, oh, shit, I'm sorry.
So you kind of stole her thunder and what
Yeah,
was
like,
supposed to be
she
her
went
night.
there to, like, lose her virginity, and I was like, oh, okay, sweet, like, I'll just entertain this guy somehow, and it ended up the other way around, like, I lost my virginity instead of her losing hers.
But, like, with her not losing her virginity, I don't expect you to know the answer, but, like, was it on her terms or his, or, like, do you know why they
I feel
didn't
like
go through
it
with
just got, like, really awkward when they met in person. They were sort of like, oh.
That happens.
And I was just like, yeah, fuck it, let's do it. It's like, it's gonna happen one day, may as well let it happen now.
Just rip off that band-aid
Yeah.
and be like, yeah, fuck it.
Safe to say my sister and him didn't remain friends after that.
I don't think at that point it really matters on your sister's relationship with that
No,
person.
but especially when I'm like, 14, 15 years old. Like, if my younger sister done that, I'd be like, what the fuck's wrong with you? Like,
so your sister knew, like, that you lost your virginity.
yeah, she found out, like, not long after, and I was sort of like, oh, fuck. Because he messaged her and he was like, oh, your sister came on to me and she came and asked me, and I was like, I was the virgin, not him. Like,
yeah.
What the fuck?
That's just, like, reminded me, like, I feel like, I don't know how to explain this properly, but when you're kind of, like, at the 14, 15-year-old age, I feel like there's those, like, kind of, like, predatory guys at, like, 17, 18, they're, like, the seniors in high school that always go for the virgins.
Yeah, and there's always the girls in your year that almost, like, put pressure on you as well to be like, I did this, so now you have to do this in order to be, like, live up to the name.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I feel like when I was in high school, like, I was the first one out of my friends to lose my virginity.
Yeah.
But we all, like, lost our virginities to the same kind of group of guys. It's like, there's this just group of guys that would just go around and just kind of, like, hit up, like, the year 7s, year 8s, and just
As
take
they
whatever
do, yeah.
can.
That's always the thing in high school, though. Like, the year 10s, 11s going after, like, the year, 8s, 7s. Yeah.
But, like, now as an adult, when I look at a child who's, like, in year 7 and 8, I'm like, they are so little and fragile. It's just so fucking predatory.
Yeah, like, my little sister's 16 at the moment, and I look at her and I'm like, I would literally, like, kill you if you did that. Like, that is so disgusting at that young age. Why did I ever do that to myself?
Yeah, well, I feel like, I don't even know. Do you regret how it happened? Like, do you regret
I don't regret it, but I think at that, so, like, I don't regret losing my virginity, obviously, but I think at that young of an age, I do regret it at that age. Like, I wish I waited a couple years more to do it.
Yeah.
Instead of sort of just, like, rushing into it with the first person that was like, hey, wanna fuck?
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. So I feel like I should have just waited for, like, another couple of years until I was at least, legally able to.
That always helps.
Yeah.
But, like, was that, like, your first sexual, like, encounter? Like, had you, like, had, like, a cheeky, like, finger from, like, your boyfriend or anything like that before?
So, like, the only encounter I had before that was literally, like, just poking a dick. Like, it wasn't a hand job or anything. It was just like, here's my dick. And I was like, okay, boom. Like, that was the only encounter I had. And then next thing you know, I'm, like, sucking a dick for the first time. And I was just like, I don't know how to do this. Like...
Yeah, that makes sense. See, I, like, lost my virginity. And I'd, like, been eaten out. I'd been fingered, all sorts of shit. Before I got to sucking a dick.
Yeah.
Like, that came so much later on for me. It was just... I don't even know. I feel like I did it all, like... in reverse, but, like, I don't know, I love my story on how I lost my virginity, because I just think it's so fucking just me.
Yeah, so how did you lose yours?
So, I was, laying in my bed, ungodly hour of the morning, and some random guy messaged me on good old Facebook. Like,
yes, I remember that, yes.
And I was 14, and this, like, random
so we're the same age.
Yeah,
girl.
Too good. And yeah, this guy was like, oh, do you, like, want to have sex? I'm pretty sure he was just straight to the point. And I was just like, do you know what? Let's just do it.
Yeah, may as well have done everything else.
Pretty much. I'd never even heard this bloke before in my life.
Yeah.
Though. Like, did not know him from a bar or so. And I was sitting there and just kind of like, oh, like, I guess this guy's coming over.
Yeah.
And he was, like, messaging me being like, oh, I'm going to ride my bike to yours. I didn't know how old he was, didn't know anything about him. All I knew was his fucking name.
Yeah.
And as he's riding his bike to my house, his friends were actually sitting there with his messenger to be like, oh, surely he's, like, not going to be too much longer.
Yeah.
And I'm like... That's just so weird.
Yeah.
And so I did, like, the whole jump out your window and, like, I walked around to, like, down my street a little bit.
Yeah.
and some guy comes riding up the hill on his bike, and I'm like, oh, you know, it's like 3 o'clock in the morning.
That must be him.
It's surely, right?
Yeah.
And it wasn't some random, like, cyclist. And so, like, we just kind of like, hey, and then...
The awkward small talk.
There wasn't even awkward small talk. It was like he got off his bike and we just started making out. And we walk up to, like, the front of my house, but, like, my mum's bedroom was at the front of the house.
Oh.
And I was like, well, we're just going to have to do it here.
Yeah.
But, like, we did it, like, on the nature strip. In front of my house. I wasn't even, like, in my front gate, because, like, that's still too close to my mum's room.
It was like the island thing?
Yeah, we're between, like, the gutter and my front gate.
Oh, no.
And, like, I was trying to, like, I guess be sexy, but for a 14-year-old, which just sounds fucking disgusting when you think of that as an adult.
Yeah.
And so I'm, like, wearing, like, the little, like, Suprè short shorts and, like, a crop top. And, like, I don't even know, we're, like, making out, and I just kind of, like, I guess, lay down.
Yeah.
And he just, like, you know, takes the little Suprè shorts off, and we just have sex. And he, like, comes, and he rides his bike home.
So he, like, came and then just, like, pulled his pants back up and he was like, right, so he just, like, got on his bike and just rode
Pretty
off.
much.
Oh, wow.
Like, he propped his bike up against a fence, you know, while we did our little business. And I remember laying there, like, you know, with, like, you know, the dew in the grass and everything going, like, is this
just
it?
So romantic.
Oh, I was just like, I was waiting for the sparks to start flying.
Yeah, it doesn't happen, does it? No. Everyone's like, oh, you know, like, you'll know when, like, the first time it happens, it's amazing, like, sparks fly, you feel amazing, and then it happens and you're like, oh, was that it?
Yeah, honestly, I had a better time dry humping with my boyfriend before that.
Yeah.
In, like, a fucking flood drain. Like, genuinely, that was more, like, arousing for me than, like, sleeping with this random bloke who rode his fucking bike to my house.
Yeah.
And, yeah, so I went inside and did the whole, like, you know, how you pee after sex and everything.
Yeah.
Like, oh, look, we busted hymen. That's pretty cool. Like, you know, something to tell the girls at school tomorrow. And the next day, the guy, like, that I slept with messaged me.
Oh, so you spoke afterwards.
Like, he was like, you know, back when I was Facebook.
Yeah.
And he was messaging me, and I was like, does this mean we're on a date? Like, because, yeah, I'm 14.
Because, yeah, like, you're so young, you're just like, oh, we had this
Yeah.
experience, he's still talking to me, like, he must obviously like me.
Yeah, but, like, I didn't, like, comprehend that he was, like, in his 20s. Like, it was bad. He was a grown-ass man.
And he didn't have his license?
Oh, bro.
He rode his bike.
I don't even think he has his license now. Like,
and he'd be, what, like, in his 30s now?
Oh, I'm pushing. Yeah, but, the next day he messaged me and was like, hey, do you want to, like, fuck again? And I was like, do I? And I was like, oh, don't know. And he was like, but we should have a threesome. And I'm like, fucking...
Oh, straight up.
Hold up. Like,
yeah.
And he was like, yeah. And, like, he'd already picked, like, one of my friends. Like, he messaged me my friend's name and was like, okay, get her. We're going to have a threesome. And we'll do it at your high school.
Oh, my God.
And I'm like, what do you mean? And I'm sitting here thinking, the high school's on the other side of town from me.
Yeah.
That bike's not big enough for 3 of us. Like, and he full rocked up to my house again and, like, walked down my neighbour's yard and did the whole, like, throwing rocks at the window sort of thing. I'm like, this is not as romantic. When, like, as a 20-year-old, I'm like, I don't know what sort of Romeo Juliet shit this is, but it's definitely the Musselbrook version. And I was just like, I can't, no.
Yeah, you can't bring yourself to do it.
No. Like, you can't, like, 24 hours after you lose your virginity be like, do you know what?
Let's just jump straight into a threesome.
Yeah.
Like, in our high school, let's do it.
Yeah, and, like, I told my friend, like, the one that he wanted to have the threesome with, and she was just like, what the fuck? But, like, also... You know, everyone already kind of knew him to be, like, one of those guys. She was like, oh, but he is kind of cute. And I'm kind of like, was he? Because I only saw him under the fucking streetlights. Like, I didn't think it was anything special.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's how I lost my virginity.
So, did your friend have, like, her virginity, or did she lose it when you brought up the whole threesome thing?
She was a virgin.
Yeah.
But...
Oh, what a good way to lose your virginity.
Yeah.
Straight up into a threesome. Let's just go for it.
I didn't even think of it like that, hey. But, fucking, my group of friends, like, obviously I went to school the next day and hit, like, oh, ladies, it's a bit hard to walk today.
I'm so
like,
cool now.
You know, and I was like, oh, yeah, like, I fucked this bloke last night. And they were like, oh, fuck, yeah. And then later on, like, they all kind of, like, started losing their virginities and, like, we were all just sleeping with the same group of guys. But, like, and it got to that bitchy, catty stage of everyone being like, well, I slept with him first. And it's like, well, he likes me. Stage, he doesn't like you.
Yeah.
And it's just, like, so much catty bullshit.
They're
I'm just like, arrest these men.
Yeah, they're, like, jealous stage, how it's like, no, fuck you. Like, I was with him first. And no one realises at that age either. They're literally only using you for sex because you're so, like... Yeah. As bad as this sounds, you're so young and you don't know, like, what's going on.
Oh, it's just fucking horrific. And I'm like, I'm just sitting here thinking, I would like to hope that 20-year-old men are still not doing that bullshit.
Oh.
But they would be.
Oh, they definitely would be.
And it's just like, I just look at little teenage girls, I'm just like, just don't do it.
Yeah, just like, wait a few more years, wait until you actually find someone that means something to you.
Until you can, like, legally consent. Like, that's a good starting point.
Yeah.
Like, before that, like, all that I had really experienced was, like, I had, like, my little, like, boyfriend when I was, like, 13, 14.
Yeah.
And, like, he went down on me one night.
Yeah.
And I was just like, what the fuck is this? I think it was, like, my first ever sleepover with him as well. And, like, his friend was in the room, too. And I'm just like, what the fuck? And, like, I remember him going down on me for, like, literally, like, hours.
Oh, my God.
It was bad. My legs hurt the next day because, like, he had a big fucking head down there.
Yeah.
And he was just like, he literally, like, mentioned later, he was, like, waiting for me to suck his dick. And I was just like, boy, think again.
How was your first experience sucking a dick, like?
Oh, gosh. So, it was with an older guy, once again. He had his
Not the 20... Oh, so this guy had his license.
Yeah, but he was, like, 17, 18. And he picked me up.
Had his license, better lifestyle, apparently.
Yeah, he'd, like, left school and, you know, was doing the whole apprenticeship bullshit.
Yeah.
And he picked me up, and he's, like, one of the other guys that all my friends, like, were sleeping with, too.
Yes.
And it was so bad. So he was the second person I'd ever slept with. Yeah. Like, you know, by the time I'm having sex for the second time, I'm ready to suck dick. And he was driving, we were driving out of town, and he just starts, like, fingering me as he's driving. And it was just so rough and intense. And I think I still had my Suprè shorts on. You know, like, they were my horse shorts.
Suprè was like the store if you wanted to be, like, sexy or, like, hot or something.
And, like, you got your little Suprè bag and you walk around school with it. You're like, I'm having a fucking... Like, that's how you're having a sleepover.
So cool, And your parents would be like, can you put some more clothes on? Like, that's not appropriate.
Yeah, it's appropriate for Suprè, Mum. Fuck you.
Yeah.
But, so this bloke picks me up. We go for a drive, like, just out of town. He's fingering me, and I'm just like, just stop.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, I'll stop if you suck my dick.
Yeah.
He's still driving. And I'm like, you know, sitting there, I don't know what I'm doing. He just pulls his pants down, still fucking driving, and I, like, reach over and start sucking his dick.
Yeah.
This motherfucker drove over a train track.
How weird is that? Like, driving on, like, a bumpy road or something, you're just like, But
I'm like, that was my first time. And I'm like, this is hitting, like, the back of my fucking throat. And not because I'm choosing for it to hit. Like, it was just back there. And I'm just like, my poor little mouth. I was so fucking pleased when he finally stopped and pulled over so we could have sex. Because I was like, I just can't, like, if this is foreplay, I don't want it.
Yeah.
Like, and I think that really turned me off being fingered, because I was just like, that was so intense, and, like, I feel like my punishment for not wanting to be fingered was fucking train track.
Just, like, choking on, like, this dick over going through, it's
and so
not
I
fun.
didn't suck dick for, like, years after that. I was just like, nah, like, I'm sorry, no, I've got, like, PTSD from fucking train tracks, like, nah. Yeah, so that was fucking what we call a jolly good time.
Yeah, actually, the second... Okay, I shouldn't say the second time I had sex, but, like, the second person I slept with, he was my partner, and he was older than me, obviously. Like, I was in year 8. Yeah, he was in, like, year 10, 11. And the girl that I was talking about before, my neighbour, that, like, we were good friends and everything, it was actually her older brother.
Okay. So you obviously knew him well.
Yeah. So, like, I was hanging out with her a lot, and then, like, I obviously started to know him because I was over there, like, every day having sleepovers and stuff, like, jumping the fence and everything. So me and him started to get to know each other, and we started dating, and then since I wasn't a virgin, obviously, he still was.
Okay.
And he was like, I want to have sex. And me being like the, responsible 15-year-old, because I was 15 at that time, I was like, are you sure you want this? Because I knew straight away, I was like, I fucking regret that.
Yeah.
So I was just like, are you sure you, want me to be that person? Are you sure you want this? Are you 100% sure, making sure he was 100% yeah, okay, let's do this with it. Because I didn't want him to regret it like I did.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, I'm fine with it. And I was like, okay, sweet. And then, so, we waited, I think it was 10 months into us dating to have sex.
That's a long haul.
Yeah.
Most relationships at that age don't even last that long.
I know, it was a long time. And, because, he was asking for, ages, and I was just like, no, I want you to be 100% sure, I'm not the virgin here. I'm younger, but I'm not the virgin. You're the virgin. I don't want you to, completely just, grow up and be like, fuck, I regret that.
Yeah.
So, I'm, made him wait a couple months, and then it ended up happening.
A couple months. 10 fucking months. But yes.
And then it ended up happening, and so it was just, after the first time we had sex, it was literally just, a fuck fest after that. It was every day, 5 times a day. We're just going for it. To the point where, my parents were separated and I was living with my dad. So my dad would go to work. His mum and, his mum's boyfriend would go to work. Because I used to walk with his little sister to school that I was friends with, and she'd be like, are we leaving? And I'd be like, oh shit, sorry, I just woke up. I'll, meet you at school. I'll see you at recess and stuff. And we used to, I used to jump the fence, go over there, have sex with him. Then we'd, eat, our Nutri-Grain together. And then, walk to school and we'd, forge letters to be sorry, we had a doctor's appointment or something at, this time and, forge our parents' signatures. So, it seemed legit. And we got away with it every single time. But then my parents found out, and I was like, oh shit, this isn't good, because they knew I lost my virginity before him, and they were like, okay, just don't do it again until you're legal to.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, sweet. So
the fuck you were like, oh hell no.
Yeah, I was like, no, fuck that. So then they found out about me having sex with him, because we actually had sex in his kitchen, and his mum walked in. And she looked at us and went, I didn't say anything, and just turned around and walked away. And she was like, as long as you guys are being safe, I don't care. Because, he was... So, he was, 16, 17 at the time, and I was 15. No, so, yeah, he was 17, I was 15.
Yeah.
And then my mum found out, and it was, a whole massive family argument. She told my dad, she told my sister. My sister was like, you're nothing but a fucking slut. What the fuck's wrong with you? And, my dad and my mum were there, going off their head, and they, full on called the cops on this guy. Because they were like, he's legal and you're not. What the fuck? And I was like, it was consensual.
Yeah.
They can't do anything. And they were like, I don't give a fuck. He's, of the right age and you're not. Fuck this. He's going to jail. Getting so worked up. And then I even turned around. I was like, look, he asked, I said no, I made sure, it was we waited 10 months and everything, I tried to do the right thing. And then they were like, I don't give a fuck and all this shit. And I was like, oh, okay, then, whatever, fucking call the cops, see if I give a shit. And they called the cops on him. But
He's
then
probably so traumatized.
No, but then the cops turned around and went, look, you're allowed a 2-year age gap without anything coming into play.
I was never aware of
No, that is what the cops told my mum, and my mum got so fucking frustrated. This was March or something, it was at the beginning of the year, and they literally grounded me the rest of that year. I didn't have Christmas or anything. I had to wait till the next year to do anything. Or because I took my partner's virginity that I agreed to, and they weren't happy about it. So, like, I missed out on Christmas, and since my birthday...
You would have missed your birthday?
Yeah. Since my birthday's in October, I missed out on my birthday. Like, I missed out on everything just because, like, me and my partner had sex after 10 months of waiting. And I was the one that took his virginity. Where his mum was like, I don't care, just wear a condom, don't knock her up, like, you're sweet.
So your mum eventually turned around, like, after?
Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking
yeah, so that was very interesting. But I actually, that part, so we dated for like 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
So like we waited till we were like, you know, of age. Because the cops said that, you know, like girls are 16 but guys are 18.
Yeah.
And so, you know, after I turned 16, after he turned 18, there was still the 2-year age gap. So they couldn't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
So like we still dated after that.
Okay, so you like...
We snuck around.
But, like, you were grounded. So he
I was
literally
grounded.
stuck around while you were grounded.
Yeah.
Like, fucking house detention, basically.
Literally, at the same time, he still lived next door to me.
Yeah.
So it was like, once my dad went to bed, because mum and dad were divorced.
Yeah.
Once dad went to bed, I was like, okay, sweet. I was fucking jumping the fence like, sweet.
Okay, well, at least that kind of works. Not that I encourage that behavior to anybody at home.
But I actually ended up messaging him the other day because he got this girlfriend after me, and I found her on Tinder.
Okay.
So I messaged him and I was like, hey, like, how you going and stuff? Because every now and again, when I brought cigarettes, he's served me.
Yeah.
And I was sort of like, oh, fuck, that's awkward.
Yeah.
So I messaged him and I was like, you know, hey, how you going? Like, how's life treating you and stuff? Because, like, at the end of the day, he was a part of my life for, like, 2 years.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know...
You guys went through a lot.
Yeah, obviously. So I was like, you know, I just want to make sure, like, you're all good in everything. And then, yeah. Apparently him and his girlfriend are still together.
Wait, but you saw her on Tinder?
Yeah, I know. I was just like, oh, okay, like, I won't bring that up, you know.
Oh, I thought
Have
that might
a
have
good
been
time.
like a situation where they were like in an open relationship, or maybe they like were looking for a third. Or
I have no idea. But like they've moved in together. They live in like Southwest Rocks. She's on Tinder. He's not on Tinder.
But I feel like if they're doing like that and like a sort of, I guess like, you know, even if they, I can't even get my words together. But like I know like a lot of couples that go and do that sort of thing, and they like looking for threesomes, and it's less threatening if it's coming from the woman, whereas if the guy's advertising it, everyone's like, your missus doesn't fucking know about that. So what I want you to do is fucking find out before our next episode.
Done.
Or fucking the next few episodes. Because I want you to come back to that and you tell us if he fucking knows
all the tea?
Yes, I want everybody to know.
Oh, done.
If he knows she's on Tinder.
Done. That is so easily done. I'll happily do that just for like shits and gigs.
Honestly, I'm down for that. I
am
about the messiness.
I'm so happy with that. So when your like little virginity story happened, what, like, did he do something to like turn you on, or like what?
Old mate riding his bike?
Yeah.
Fuck no, I think...
Little Mr. Cyclist.
I think I was very mature at a young age.
Yeah.
And because I guess I'd already had so many sexual encounters, I was just kind of like, you know what? Let's do it.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I just had the mindset of like, I don't care. Like, it just didn't seem like it was a big deal anymore. But like, then after that, so my mum found out that I had lost my virginity by the time I'd fucked the third person.
Oh god, yes.
So
at least it wasn't the second person.
No, mum. Like, my mum saw me, like, you know, choking on his dick on the train track.
Oh, nice.
No.
How classy.
It's like, hi, mum, it's me. No, the third guy.
Yeah.
I was friends with his little sister.
Oh, God, yes.
So her and I were really close, and she knew that I was, like, hanging out with her brother.
Yeah.
But she thought we were going to date.
Yeah.
But when she found out him and I were just sleeping together, she, like, lost her shit. Like, that wasn't okay.
Yeah.
And I was just kind of like, but you wanted us to date, but for us to have sex is not on.
So it's fine for us to date and have sex, but when we're not dating and having sex, it's like, no, fuck this. It's not happening. Yeah.
But, like, when you factor in I was still 14 and this was a grown man.
Oh, yeah, okay, fair enough.
Who already had a kid.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and he was in a band.
Yeah.
And, like, I'd go around, his whole band would be fucking laying on the floor, and I'd just be like, I was like a little band groupie.
Aww.
But I was like 14, and it was so bad. And like we'd fuck like on his couch if his band was there, sort of thing, and all that sort of stuff. But he still lived at home with his mum.
Yeah. Oh, so it's okay.
No, because that's where it gets tricky.
Oh,
and like there'd be times where like he was a bit slack, so he'd be like, "Oh, I don't really feel like walking you home."
Yeah.
So his like fucking bandmates would. Like it was so bad.
Oh my god.
So, but anyway, after a while, his sister told the mum,
Yeah.
being like, Daphne's coming around, like, yeah, he's letting her, like, through the colorbond gate sort of thing.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I think there was, like, a time where we might have jumped the colorbond fence.
Yeah.
I don't know how, because I'm 5'3", so, but...
At the moment, you are.
So I don't know what I was doing back then.
Yeah.
Maybe he gave me a boost, but, yeah, it was fucking awesome. And anyway, so... Yeah, the sister told the mum, and then all of a sudden I'm getting these threats. And the mum's like, you were trespassing.
No.
I was like, what do you mean? Like, your son let me in.
Yeah.
Like, have words with him, but don't have beef with me because he let me... Like, there's a whole fucking band in here.
Yeah, like, I had
issue.
permission, yeah.
Yeah. And I'm sitting there thinking, she probably don't know. She's sitting on a couch watching 60 Minutes and her son's comes on it. But that's beside the point.
Yeah.
And anyway, so his mum was full, like, reckon she was going to come bash me. And, like, I'm just sitting here thinking, why is this grown-ass woman going to come bash a 14-year-old when it's, like, fight your son?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, what the fuck? And anyway, so, and I was, like, worried. I'm, like, 14 thinking, like, some woman's coming to bash me.
Yeah, like, full freaking out and
like,
everything,
they knew where I lived because we lived on the same street. Like... And so I was like, hey, Mum, like, I've got to talk to you about something.
A little situation.
And I fucked him on Christmas Day as well. So, like, I had to be like, Mum, like, on Christmas, I went somewhere and I lost my virginity. My mum's like, it's okay. I'm not gonna
Merry Christmas!
My mum's like, I'm not going to let her bash you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fucking thanks. And, like, she didn't actually bring up that I'd lost my virginity again. And my mum is a nosy bitch, so I was very shocked by that. But, yeah, and I was just sitting there like... What the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, why is some grown woman coming to bash me? And then now I'm going to, like, tell my mum I lost my virginity. Obviously, I didn't tell her about the other two guys before that. I was just like, no, this is definitely my
This is the first time, yeah.
Yeah, and, like, it was so bad. Because I'd go see him frequently.
Yeah.
And then one night I rocked up, and his other band groupies hadn't actually left yet.
Oh, no.
And there was these two other girls that I was friends with that I'd known since primary school, and they're kind of like, why are you here? I'm like, bitch, why the fuck are you here?
Yeah.
Like, is his mum coming to bash you guys too?
Yeah.
Or are you allowed to be
Yeah.
here? And I was just like, you know what, you guys are fine. I just turned around and walked the fuck back home. I was like, and that was the end of seeing him for me. And then now, these years later, he's messaging me, being like, hey, like, I, like, love your premium, like, we should really, like, hang out again and all this shit. I'm like, dude, it has been a decade.
Yeah.
And you know what, this time, I might go bash your mum. Like, I'm not playing no more.
Bring it, Mama Bear.
like, I don't think she's winning that one.
No.
Not that I've gotten any taller, but, like, fuck me, I'm not 14 anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so that's...
Oh, my God.
Yeah, so...
That's crazy.
But by the time, like... But by the time I'd gotten to my 15th birthday, I had slept with 7 people.
I slept with 3. 3?
Like...
Wait, 17th. Oh, fuck, I don't know.
17th. No,
What did you
my
say?
15th.
15th, yeah.
By the time I turned 15, like, on my 15th birthday, I slept with my 7th person.
Okay, I slept with, like, one person.
Like, I was just doing the fucking rounds. I was like, not only did I lose my virginity, I'm committed to this lifestyle.
Yeah.
Like, my Suprè shorts are getting around this fucking
Fuck yeah,
town.
they are, girl.
And then, yeah, the early hours of my 15th birthday, I snuck out to get a root after I made my own birthday cake, because I'm just really sad like that.
May as well give myself a little present.
It was a rainbow tiered cake, and I was really impressed.
Aww.
And I was like, I had a birthday party that weekend, and it was like a proper, like, party, and I was like, but I'm still showing everyone my fucking cake. Like, I'm proud of this shit. And so after I made my cake, I snuck out, got my little root, and that's how I met my ex-fiancé.
Oh, was that how?
Yes, I snuck out, and we had sex, and, like, it was, in my mind, so fucking romantic.
Yeah.
And then, like, the day of, like, my birthday party, my mates and I walk around, going to get, like, lollies and shit.
Yeah.
And, like, I think we tried to make, like, a jelly pool. Like, I committed to the horse age. I'm like, we're doing jelly wrestling at my 15th birthday. We didn't know how to make fucking jelly. Like, it was so bad. It was like a sassy slime pool. People pouring drinks and straws. It was a fucking mess. And I think I'm the only person that went in it. It was so bad.
Oh, no.
But as my friends and I were walking back to my house to, like, you know, set up for this party, I saw my ex-fiancé, because apparently everybody lived on my street, and he had a friend that lived, like, 10 houses up from me. So him and his mate were walking around too, and he had, like, knee-high socks on, three-quarter, like, fucking cargo shorts on, a wife beater, his rat's tail hanging halfway down his back, and he was wearing a woman's tennis hat.
Stop it, you're turning me on.
And I'm sitting there going, that's the man of my dreams. And that was the man I was planning on fucking marrying.
Well, you just got engaged, didn't work out to be fucking marrying him, did it?
Yeah, no. So moral of the story, whoever you fuck at 15 is not going to be your husband, and aim higher.
Whoever you fuck at 19 is not going to be your husband. Like, wait until you're, like, mid-late 20s.
Do you know what? I'm aiming for, like, mid-40s.
I'm not even aiming anymore. I'm just not going there.
At mid-40s, I think I'll settle down to have a life friend. Like,
yeah, look, my ex-fiancé was enough. I'm just like, nah, not doing that again. I'll have, like, a best friend, but, like, that's it. I'm not going any further than that. I'll fucking marry myself.
But tread lightly on having those best friends that you want for the rest of your life.
I might just not have a best friend.
Yeah, maybe.
I might just buy, like, one of those things they have at, like, you know, car yards that just fucking blow up and, like, do the little dance.
At least it can't be a narcissist.
Exactly, because they can't fucking talk.
No one might, like, I'd get one that fucking
They just do, like, the little dance and mind their own business, and you can turn them off whenever they fucking piss you off, and you're like, nah, see ya.
Like, puts it under the fan, turns the fucking fan on when it's talking shit, so it just fucking gets hammered.
Yeah.
We got high speed tonight, boy. Anything to just not live with a man, honestly. I don't think I could do it again.
No, me neither.
I love having my bed to myself.
Oh, it's amazing.
I love watching what I want to do on TV.
It's so good.
Like, everything. You have so much fucking freedom.
I love it.
Why did we do it? Why the fuck did we do
Mate, we were 19. I was pretty much drunk from, like, my 16th birthday to, like, my 21st.
See, I can't use that excuse.
Oh, wait, no, my 22nd. Like, I've only just became sober.
Yeah, but, like, you haven't.
I'm not drinking as much, okay?
Good to know. I feel like that might be a good spot to wrap this one up, though.
Yeah.
That was a very long virginity story. I don't think we expected to go on for that long, but I love the fucking stories that have come out. That was amazing.
Definitely, yeah.
It's crazy how we've had, like, just such similar, like, I guess, themes, as much as it was very different in our own ways. It's like, I just feel like if you lose your virginity at 14, this is, like, a set path that you go on. Though. And, like, you get so much fucking trauma from this path. So, moral of the story, don't lose your virginity at 14.
Do not get engaged at 19.
And just don't fuck people that have kids when you're still a teenager.
Wait until you're, like, legally able to.
Yeah, this is turning into, like, a fucking TED Talk.
Really. Yeah.
But it's, like, just learn from our experiences.
Yeah.
If he has to ride a bike to your house, don't go there, sis. Because if you're fucking, there's a chance you're having a baby, and, like, baby carriers aren't cute on bikes.
And it just goes downhill from there. Like, there's no upside to that at all.
And, like, the whole bike thing, that also goes to skateboards, scooters. If he pulls up on a fucking ripstick, I don't know. Maybe.
Oh, yeah, that might be the one.
The
ripstick might be the one.
I'm thinking about fucking Power Wings now.
You know?
Only grown men ride Power Wings. This is taking a fucking turn. Oh my god. So yeah, if you've enjoyed this, please feel free to leave us a 5-star review. We will
pick the best review, and whoever has the best review, you can choose either me or Daphne to send you a free nude.
Or we might both if it's that good.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just leave us good fucking reviews and you'll get something out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, see you next episode, guys.
And remember that we have our OnlyFans. So mine's OnlyFans for... Oh, fucking hell. It's a mouthful. OnlyFans. We'll link it. We'll just put it on the fucking screen. And if you're listening to this at home on Spotify, like, if you're not visually looking at us, I'm sure there'll be a link somewhere for you to find. Alrighty, I think we'll wrap that one up, and we will see you guys in episode 3.
Alright, see yous.